that we had to vaccinate our children with the COVID vaccine. Untested, unproven, experimental. Later, of course, known and proven to harm children. I mean, this is insane stuff, and frankly, it's un-American to require that. And as Attorney General, I will make sure that our medical freedom laws are enforced to the fullest extent of the law, because the AG's office is there to protect those who cannot protect themselves.
Your organization has achieved a significant dent in vaccine mandates.
We didn't do the science. We didn't do the clinical trials. We didn't do the post-safety. But one thing we know it's rare.
Hello, this is Rebecca Hardy, president of Texans for Vaccine Choice. We are at the Republican Party of Texas State Convention, and I am here with, well, I'm going to call you Senator Mays Middleton, but you're also the Republican nominee for Attorney General after a hard-fought primary. So welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you. It was a long year and a month campaign. I joked earlier. My 4-year-old daughter, I knew she'd been watching some TV because she called me MAGA Maze at one point.
Okay,
so.
that is really hilarious. I love
saw
that.
The commercials, so.
That's Daddy.
Yeah.
No, it's not Daddy. It's MAGA Maze. Well, just for our listeners, I'm going to provide just a little bit of context because you've served several sessions now in both the Texas House and the Texas Senate, and there's a short list of what I would say are true champions in the legislature, and you are at the top of the list. You are actually not just doing good votes, but you are filing the legislation and you're getting them passed. So on behalf of the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Texans that the TFVC represents, thank you.
It's tough fights. Like on the ban on COVID vaccine mandates, I made sure that law, which I wrote and passed, is the strongest in America. It's $50,000 per occurrence. And the vaccine lobby, Big Pharma, was after me in that. But we beat them. We won. Also, the duty to treat was a very tough bill to get done. Of course, we got out of the House, got out of the Senate. But that was many, many years to get that passed. I mean, this is where, a medical provider cannot deny you as a patient based on your vaccination status. And that was absolutely happening in Texas.
It is. And, that bill was a bill that was in response to a lot of phone calls that we were getting saying, my family is on Medicaid, my family's on CHIP. These doctors that are state paid with our taxpayer dollars are still saying we can't be patients here. And we're like, at the lowest bar should be, if you're a state-paid doctor in a state that long respects parental rights, why are you not accepting this? So that bill, when it passed, it basically ended those phone calls. So that was not just like a feel-good bill, that was immediate policy that directly impacted Texans overnight. And so you're championing that legislation over the course of numerous sessions. I just can't thank you enough.
Well, it needs to be your choice. I mean, right. It should be up to you what goes in your body. And it was just outrageous what we saw, especially during COVID, where people were being told literally, you've got to choose between your religious beliefs, your sincerely held medical or conscious beliefs, your medical, history, and your job. There were so many that came to me and said, look, I'm afraid to take the shot.
Yep.
My family has a history of stroke, blood clotting, but they were facing the barrel pointed at them saying, you get it or you get fired. No one should ever have to face that in the state of Texas, and we fixed that, but it was unbelievable what they were doing to people. And not only that, the thing I got to remind people of is if you did get vaccine injured, there was no liability because of the Federal PrEP Act.
Yep.
So people that said, hey, I'm worried what will happen to me, and if the worst happens, right, there's no liability at all.
I really appreciate your recognition of that liability shield. Those COVID vaccines were shielded by the PrEP Act, but every other vaccine is shielded by that 1986 law. And I cannot imagine a world where a medical procedure is mandated with no protections for the consumer. I mean, that is so anti-American, it's anti-Texan, and and these mandates that we're still seeing alive and well in Texas, frankly, like what happened during COVID is still happening with the other vaccines, and it's such a stain on our state. And so I just so appreciate your clarity on that. I really, really do. Let me ask you this. Why should vaccine choice be a legislative priority in Texas? And if so, why?
Absolutely. We got a lot more work to do, right? So some legislation that I authored last session, it didn't make it through the House. And what it would have done is created conscious objections. And you could just say, I'm not going to get that shot, right? I've got a conscious objection for medical workers, right? We're still seeing this where, they're being forced to get vaccines they don't want to get. It could violate their religious beliefs. It could violate even what their doctor is telling them, because there is a may in the Health and Safety Code right now. It says they may recognize religious and medical exemptions. And I changed that to a shall and added conscious exceptions as well, because this should be up to you, right? It should be your decision for yourself. And that's always been a huge priority of mine with medical freedom, because, we've seen evidence of vaccine injuries, especially with children, right? Macy and I are blessed with 4 little ones, 3 boys, 1 little girl.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable, some of the things that we were being told, and COVID was probably the worst example of that we had to vaccinate our children with the COVID vaccine. Untested, unproven, experimental. Later, of course, known and proven to harm children. This is insane stuff, and frankly, it's un-American to require that.
Leading up to this convention and on all of our banners and literature here, we have rolled out our legislative priorities, and the top one being closing those loopholes that allow for those vaccine mandates for our healthcare workers. That may that you talk about in our statute keeps me up at night.
No.
Why we are, and what happens because of a result of that may is those medical facilities across the state just don't accept them and these exemptions for our healthcare workers. And we saw during COVID that it just takes one little moment in time for our healthcare workers that were heroes. The next day they were zeros. And it's just, I cannot believe that was allowed to happen in Texas. So thank you for your clarity on that. I know I want to be respectful of your time. I promise I'd make this short and sweet. So how about this? We'll land with this. And that is, what is your message to the TFVC grassroots army that we have built for 11 plus years now?
Well, so you're the grassroots activists. This is the moms and dads of our great state saying, look, we deserve this choice. We deserve this ability to decide what goes in our children and in our bodies. And as Attorney General, I will make sure that our medical freedom laws are enforced to the fullest extent of the law, because the AG's office is there to protect those who cannot protect themselves. And that's what y'all do, right? That's what Texans for Vaccine Choice does, because not everybody can hire a lawyer, right? Not everybody can take time to go to committee. Not everybody can take time to even file suit, against a healthcare provider or a medical system that they work for. You're the voice for those people, and I will be the voice for those folks in the AG's office as well. And, that enforcement is very, very important. We do have more work to do on that front as well. But look, our laws that we pass here, these are not suggestions, right? They've got to be enforced.
Okay, y'all heard it here. Right now, we have an attorney general, the Republican nominee, that has gone on the record saying he is ready to hold Texas institutions accountable to the laws we pass. We've made great gains legislatively. There's still far more work to do, and it's great to have this commitment from hopefully our future Attorney General in Texas. So thank you so much for coming by.
You.
You're tops in our book. So thank you for your time and your commitment to the cause.
Appreciate you having me on today. Very grateful for all the work that you do. And I'm looking forward to more victories next session, more medical freedom laws that I can and will enforce.
Let's go.
Oh, let's do it.
Thank you for listening to the Shot Callers podcast. Please, if you found value in this content, rate us and share the podcast with a friend. It's a great way to get the message out and to empower everyone to make informed decisions. Until next time, never forget, we are the Shot Callers.